I was walking around my room this morning because I realized something I can't stop thinking about. I don't think anybody ever taught the new kid there was somebody else in the room. The new kid? Cognition. He's brilliant. He built airplanes and smartphones and AI. He can solve problems, plan for the future, invent, optimize, and dream. But I think somewhere along the way, he assumed he was running the whole show. And I don't think he is. I think there's always been someone else in the room. The body. The old guardian. I didn't discover this in a laboratory. I discovered it in classrooms and basketball gyms. And I probably should have figured it out much sooner. The greatest basketball game of my life, I scored 43 points in a district championship game. My jersey number, by the way. For years, I told myself that story was about talent, about practice, about confidence and grit. But bodies tell different stories. Because when I think back on that night, I don't remember the score first. I remember my dad. He was there. I can still tell you exactly where he stood, leaning against a ladder. 40 years later, the body never forgot. And that makes me wonder, what else has the body been tracking all this time that nobody taught us to notice? Because before cognition ever has a thought, I think the body is already asking questions. Am I safe? Am I safe to be me? Do I know what happens next? Is anybody with me? And if those questions matter more than we realized, it changes how we understand so much of what we call human behavior. Maybe anxiety isn't always a character flaw. Maybe exhaustion isn't always a lack of resilience. Maybe a child melting down isn't simply refusing. Maybe a teacher running on empty isn't failing. Maybe the body has been trying to tell us something all along. In classrooms, I saw extraordinary things, brilliant teachers, creative lessons, an astonishing amount of learning packed into a single day. And then I started noticing something else. The body updates through integration. It needs moments to absorb, organize, and revise its map of the world. Without those moments, access narrows. You can keep increasing the pace, you can keep demanding more, but the old guardian, he isn't resisting. He simply hasn't been included in the conversation because cognition and the body aren't the same. One imagines possibility, the other determines what's currently accessible. One says, look how far we can go. The other asks, are we safe enough to get there? Neither is wrong, neither is superior, but they were never meant to work alone. The body isn't an obstacle to human potential. It is the only entry point. Every dream, every act of courage, every expression of creativity, every experience of love, everything we call human potential must pass through a body. There's no other route. So maybe the tragedy isn't that we've ignored the body. Maybe the tragedy is that nobody ever taught the new kid there was somebody else in the room.